look in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. What I will be discussing with you in this reaction video, I will be talking about how women today, modern women in particular, are extremely hard-headed, stubborn, and won't listen. So we're going to break it down because some of the reasons why you cannot reach a woman because she refuses to listen. So let me go ahead and get to this thing. Hold on one second. Before I do that, hit the notification bell, select the option that says all. And once you do that, you'll be informed of all my new content. Can you dig it? All right, now let's get started. Let's get it.
Listen, I truly miss the days when women had wise counsel. Women no longer have wise counsel. There used to be a time where when a woman was mature in her womanhood and she genuinely was dating, she would be able to ask her wise counsel, which usually consists of a mature mother, a respected and wise grandmother, about 3 wise friends. All those people could come together and share their opinion from the outside looking in about what they think about this gentleman, okay? You can't say nothing about no woman's nothing no more. It ain't even got to be her man. If they're just sleeping together, you better not say nothing to him. If there's a situation, women have gone so far, they reject anything that does not align with the theory that they have already placed up here.
And that is where I'm going to jump in at. She's 100% correct. Women live with that. We know that women are delusional, but I want to talk about cognitive dissonance a little bit. It's when a person believes a reality to exist that does not exist. Women today live in fantasy worlds. If a woman is attracted to a man, she creates that man's character. Even though he has not even revealed his true character, she starts to operate through assumptions. She assumes that that man would do right by her if she do X, Y, and Z. Okay? And because of this delusional mindset, they find themselves getting in situations where they cannot come back from. In other words, they are traumatized from. Certain experiences can change you. It can cause you to pivot in a direction that you wouldn't see yourself going in. Some women could say to themselves, I would have never done that. I would not have tried this if I would not have been with that man. And like she said a while ago, women reject wisdom. They reject wise counsel. Women can't be told anything. They are not seeking elders in the community. They are not even seeking people that have visible proof of successful relationships because they don't want to hear negative criticisms, chastisement, truth, or anything that goes against what they want to do. You can't tell a woman nothing. Even if that man is acting up, meaning he's a pookie. He's not doing anything with his life. He's beating on her. He's doing all these things. Even still, in that cognitive dissonance that she has, that delusion, she will always think that that man can change. Women are idealistic sometimes because whenever they find a man that they are attractive to, they already create the ideal man within him. Like I said before, they don't know what he's going to be. They move on emotions and attractions, not compatibility. I'm going to say that 1,000,000 times. Women operate on commonalities and attractiveness. If she finds him attractive, she want to give him some. If she sees that he's attractive and she like him because of how attractive he is, but they got things in common, which is commonalities, then next thing you know, she's in love with this dude. She believes it can work. Not compatibility, meaning that their value systems are in line with each other. Not compatibility where their standards are matching each other, but commonalities and attractiveness. That's what you're seeing today. Let's keep going.
That is such a dangerous place to be. When you only want to rely on the images that you have in here and you are rejecting wise counsel, you don't want to hear from people who actually love you and respect you and want to see you do well, when you get to a point where you can't even receive information because you just got to have this workout in a certain way, you are so far gone. And I fear that the things that people say about women are true. Women get left out in the cold on a stormy, rainy night because of their inability to be receptive to help, to be receptive to suggestions, to be receptive to anything that may advance their life. Like, no one can tell women nothing. Nathaniels. And people on the other end of that are starting to be exhausted. That's why the girls ain't got no community. That's why the girls can't make no friends. That's why the girls can't get a break from them kids. That's why the girls is in the house all day, every day, sun up to sun down. Because while you do need assistance, you also want people to shut up talking to you. It don't work.
Exactly. Like she said, people get exhausted when it comes to telling people the same shit every day, all the time. Women run around on social media talking about there's no village, there's no community. A lot of time, the members of the village in the community as well have told them so many times to avoid this and avoid that. They have tried to give you wise counsel. They have advised against what you're doing. They tried to help you. They try to warn you, admonish you, excuse me, but you wouldn't listen. All you want is to use them as a resource. Can you keep my kids? Can I borrow some money? Can I do X, Y, and Z? But you want to take the resource, but you don't want to take the instruction, the guidance, the chastisement, the direction, none of that. So people get tired of you. It's like when you have a woman that may be your sister or your auntie, and she keep getting her ass whooped by Pookie. The police come pick up Pookie, Ray Red, Nook Nook, whoever done whooped their ass this week. She bails them out of jail, get back in a relationship with them. And this cycle repeats itself 6-7 times. She keeps coming to you, complaining about what this man is doing, show you the black eyes, the busted lips. You get mad, might even try to go fight Pookie or shoot him, whatever you're going to do. After you don't fought Pookie, she still run back to him. Now you at a place in your life where you say, look, I love my sister, my auntie, or whoever it is, but I got to wash my hands of them because they're not going to listen. She's just going to get back with him anyway. I hope nothing happened to her, but I can't deal with this no more. So when she comes to you complaining, you tell her, look, man, if you ain't going to leave that man, don't come here telling me what that man doing. I didn't help. Whenever you try to help this type of woman, you jeopardizing your own life because Pookie might got a gun, pistol ready. And you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. But that's what she's talking about there. Let's keep going.
It don't really work like that, y'all. It don't really work like that, you guys. It does not work like that, you guys. And I just... Give me a second. I don't think women understand what happens when people start to associate you with a person that don't listen, with a person that got to learn the hard way. Once people realize that you always in an emergency situation, but when they give advice, you don't want to take it, but you steady coming back with it. Once people realize that that's your pattern, that is your habit, that is your... This is what they do. This is what they do. And it's not because they don't love you. It's not because they don't care. It's because I'm trying to help. And you don't... Once people realize that you really don't want to get up out of it, this is what they do. They let life be the teacher that it is. They let God take the wheel.
In other words, they abandon you to an extent because people do get tired of dealing with you. You ever heard of a repeat offender, a person to go to prison all the time, get out, go back in, go back out, go back in? That's how some of these women are. They can get out of the domestic relationship, go right back into another one. Doesn't even have to be with the same guy. Or she can get pregnant and have Pookie's bastard child, And then they break up. Then she get another guy named Ray Ray, have his bastard child. They break up and go to Nook Nook and have his bastard child. Repeat offenders, professional whores. That's what's going on right here. And you get tired of telling them and warning them about their behavior. You get tired of telling them, look, you got to think better. You got to do better. You get tired. So you abandon them to an extent, if not altogether.
I'm telling you, you are in a bad position as a woman when you get to a place where you don't want to have wise counsel around you. I had just shared something with somebody recently where it's like, I know for a fact I'm the type of woman, I need guidance. I need guidance because I'm aware. I'm a little too aware. I know who I am. I know how powerful I am. I know what I'm striving to be. It is very easy for me to be like Satan and get kicked up out of heaven. It's very easy for me. It's very easy for me to lean on my own understanding and just be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's very easy for me to get caught up in that way. That's what keeps me humble. That's what keeps me in a state of humility because I know that I could self-destruct. A lot of women are on the road to self-destruction and they don't realize it. They do not realize it. And I hate it because some of us are mothers. Some of us are trying to start businesses. Some of us, are trying to do just so many different things. You cannot do nothing. You cannot go and you can't do anything in this life if you do not know how to be receptive to new information and show up in the world from a place of humility.
She's correct. She said women need to be receptive of new information. And she's right. And I'm going to tell you what that means. Women don't focus on the information. Women focus on the delivery a lot of times. Even some beta males. You ever see a man or a woman say that delivery too harsh, like they say about mine sometimes? Those type of people, I'm going to talk about the men who say that shit, the weak ass men who say that shit. They never ever become stern at all when they talk about anything. They'll tell you your delivery too harsh. The people need to be told in love. You can't cut them with your tongue and shit like that. But you never see them ever putting their foot down. There's a time and a place for everything. And the thing is, a lot of women and a lot of people today, you can't tell them something soft no more. Okay? That soft shit don't work. Men have been trying to tell women softly these things for decades now. So you have to be just be real. If they assume it to be harsh, who gives a fuck? You get what I'm saying? Now, these women need to focus on the message. Stop focusing on the delivery. Is the person right in what they say? Can they bring receipts and prove what they're saying about y'all behavior? If so, then perhaps you need to consider that information and change. Women are still operating on old information. Like you said, be receptive of new information. Women are still operating on old information. That wave of feminism that came along and told you women that you can do everything a man can do and you don't need a man. That's where that whole thing came from. The ideology of I don't need a man came from you could be equal to a man. That's where it came from. You could be equal to a man, and then that slowly corrupted the woman's mind, spirit, and soul to the point where they say, I don't need a man. I can do whatever I want. But they're always angry now because the innate nature of a woman is to be with a man. There's no such thing really of a woman who wants to be alone. It ain't. It just ain't. Even if they don't like being with men because they've been hurt so many times and start dating their own gender and shit, that still shows you that they don't want to be alone. And that even the women that they're dating are fighting with them and don't like their ass either. The highest rates of DV happens in that community, especially among women who date women. Look it up for yourselves. So the problem is not the delivery. The problem is the women refusal to hear what's being said. Because if you acknowledge what's being said, that puts a light on your behavior and shows you that you are fucking up and put pressures on you to change. But that's the problem. A lot of women they're lazy. They don't want to do the work.
Not because you need to play small for other people. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about humility in the sense of I don't know everything. I am struggling. I would like someone to show me or teach me a better way to do this thing because it's not adding up. Y'all don't have that no more. Y'all do not have that no more. And I just got to be real with y'all about it. A lot of people see my videos and that, oh, you hate women. I love women. I'm a woman. I loathe our behavior. It's the behavior that I loathe. And not just in y'all, I would never get online and tell y'all something that I ain't told myself. I would never do that. That would make me a hypocrite. The reason I can get up here and say the things that I say with the conviction that I say it in is because I know it's true.
Exactly. She done been through it. There's a handful of women. There's a pocket of women who must have back helpers who actually have changed their mindsets from being, from my attitudes. I don't know what it is in the fucking morning when I go outside. Anyway, long story stuff, but they listen to people like myself, other people who have this type of content or whatever, and it calls them to understand that they are the problem. So they're doing what you would expect them to do. They're trying to reach to other women and tell them, look, you're the problem. Because they really want these women to be happy. They ain't their enemy. They the enemy. They on my side. When they agree with what the hell I say, they agree with what I'm saying, and they can take this hard content, they on my side. They trying to help change women too. But you can't change women now. All you can do, put information out there. Let them change now. I ain't trying to change nobody. I had a fool tell me, you trying to change women? No, I ain't trying to change nobody. I'm just putting the information out there and help the men too. I'm more focused on the men, making them aware of the things that women are doing and putting confidence in men to walk away from a woman that ain't good for them. That's what I'm doing here. Anyway, I'll be talking to y'all pretty soon, man. Y'all take it easy now, yeah?